Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're going to make this card here that when you reorganize myself, open it up, you get the inside here like that, but you get that nice little transfer of what's on the front. Welcome to our Sunday night, Wednesday night live, not Sunday. My name's Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Karaka, Auckland, and each Wednesday and Sunday I come on and make a card with you. So usually it's a fun fold or a different technique that we haven't, that I think that you might enjoy. So I hope that let me just see, anyone there? Not yet. Alright, so we're going to have a go at making this card. It is just a standard, it fits in a standard envelope, so it's a standard card base, which is our A5 folded in half. So I've just scored that through the middle already, and we have that, and then we have a piece of designer series paper, which is from I want to say Cheerful Daisies, but that's the stamp set. Delicate Daisies or something. But hi, Lisa. So we're just going to glue that onto the front. Now, there's two options when you glue it onto the front. We're going to cut a window out, like this one here. So you can glue it through the middle if you want to, or you can just glue around the edge. If you glue around the edge, it means that you can use the cutout piece. And then I've actually, which you can't see, but I've actually put the designer series paper on the back, just so that it's not a plain back, so you can pull it apart. So I'm just going to, if you're worried, you can just make sure that once you've cut your hole, that, I mean, unless it's a really big gap, you should be alright with that. So the other thing to do is, if you know you're going to put it at the top, just put a little bit extra at the bottom. Whoops, so I've put some at the top now. That isn't what I wanted to do, but that's okay. It'll still do the job. Alright, so we're just going to glue that on, but if you can't see, this actually came from one sheet of paper, so it's a really nice pattern that I wanted to use twice. So I got this idea from Lisa Curcio. There's lots of other people out there that have done it, but this is the one, it was her video that I watched. So I'm going to now use the Something Fancy dies. You can use any dies. The idea would be that you would use layering dies, so you want a couple of the same shape die, just in different sizes. I think I might use that one. Something a bit different. Maybe. I wonder if it'll work. It should work. I don't want to mess this paper up, so I'm going to go with tried and true. Use this one here. So we're just going to go and cut that. I'm going to cut it about there. So you want to cut through one layer of card and one layer of designer series paper, like so. I'm going to, just so it stays in place, because it can move about. My plates are a bit old now, and so they're a bit bowed, so they get a bit tight. So I'm just going to pop that there and put some post-it notes. How's everyone's week been? I hope it's been a good one, a good start to the week. Right, let me just make some room here. just going to pop this out. Alright. I think I did stick that down plastic because I wanted to put it on the back. No, it's stuck. But that's okay. It just means that the finished edge is more on the back than on the front. That was too much glue. So it doesn't, I don't want it to stick. I'm going to put it back in, so we're going to pop it back in this way, so I don't want it to stick too much or on the edge there. Alright, using, hello, what do you want? What do you want? That's all I need now. Right, the next piece here that we're going to work on is, because I forgot to grab my stamping bit, so I'll keep that in a minute. We're going to get our he has been a little bit of a menace today, Lisa. Trying to eat dinner and he's like in our face. Okay, so we've got a piece of cardstock. Now this is 6 inches across and it is slightly smaller at 5.5. Now it's 5.5 because we want to have a slight border around the edge here. Is it 5.5? Oh, 5 and 5/8, that is. So we're going to work on the 6-inch side. So we want the 6-inch side because we're going to score down the length of it. So if your trimmer works the other way, then you just need to have the 6-inch. You're going to be scoring on that side. So we're going to pop it in at 2 inches. This is very easy. We'll pop it at 2 inches. And no problem. I hope you're not driving, Alison. Andrea, not Alison. Why did I say Alison? Alright. So we're going to piece on the 6-inch side, we're going to score at 2 and 4. So you get 3 even panels there. Look, and I'm so organised and I actually didn't even cut my, I cut out my white piece with a different die. So we'll see. It might fit in there. It might not. It won't fit in there. So I have to cut that like that. Okay, so we're going to pop some, you can, this one here. Alright, so I've put some designer series paper in here. You could put some plain card. I'm going to stamp all the way across. So I stamped this and then put the designer series paper on because you can see that it's gone over the edges. So I thought for this one I'd do something a little bit different. And I would stamp it. So if you're going to stamp it like me, I would restrain from scoring it and folding it until you have done the stamping. And I've gone with the Daisy suite because I quite like this set. And I still used the same colours that are from the designer series paper. I'll just say, you made my day, I think, with a little bit of masking. Alright, so my blocks are still from in my container from Stamp Club, so 1 second, sorry. I had my last Stamp Club for the year on Monday night and I haven't had a chance to put everything away, so it's all just sitting in the trolley behind me. There, and that one there, and that one there, and that one there, and just put that there for now. Alright, so like I said, if you're going to stamp, I recommend that you do that before you score it, because you're going to get ridges in your image. So I'm using boho blue, which is the blue that's in the background of the designer series paper, and I like to start with oh, that's clever. It's very easy actually. It's just this piece here and the little wing things that we put on it. So I'm just going to pop a couple of bits there of the bigger one, and I'm going to put the smaller one down here, because then that gives me space to write with. Now to do the inside bits, I will stamp off so it's slightly lighter, and then you just find the right petal to line up. So if you try and keep your stamp the same direction, it makes it a little bit easier if you're still learning how to line things up. And then the same with the big one. I was a little bit off with that one, and then stamp off, and that one has got the weird shaped petal there. And then my funny shape pencil there. That one there. This is the nice thing with the photopolymer, even though it stains with the pink or with the red pigmented colours, you can actually see where it lands as you hover above it, so you'll be able to see a lot easier when you if you want to line things up, especially for two-step stamping. Okay, I'm going to go with a dark blue inside, the larger flower, larger daisy. My shimmy. There's a bit of water on it by the looks of that. And then there's a smaller centre piece for the smaller daisy, which has disappeared. Oh no. Oh, there it is. I took it out already. Oops. Alright, oh good one, now I've got blue marks on it. Okay, so let's close that up. And the stalk. So it goes behind. Another one there. Kind of is a bit floaty, but never mind. I'll put one about there. And then if I put that like so, and I can put down there. Clean that. How long are you going to Wellington for, Andrea? Okay, let me just cut this out so I can stamp it. It looks a bit odd, but never mind. I might just get it off of it. Okay, so let's do another stamp here. You made okay, so you made clean because we don't want any rubbing off on there, and I actually want to get I want day by itself, so which means that if we take both ends we can then do that, get rid of these, put mine in here, and then clean. It's a long way of doing it, but if you've got a long stamp that you want to have staggered, it's a really good way of doing it. Actually, I need one. My day. I'm just going to get that there, and then we can line up day. You made my day. Alright. Now obviously if you don't want to fiddle around with things like that, you can just do a normal sentiment. I am going to pop a couple of blue excuse me, couple of flowers on the side because it didn't take up as much space as I thought. Alright, now we're going to put it together. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so what we're going to do, open it, we're going to concertina it the other way. So you want, if you're doing mountain valley, mountain is your first fold, valley is your second fold, alright? Because we want to glue this part down here. So before I do that, I'm just going to burnish my scrawl marks again, now that all the stamping is done. And I want it to be able to move quite nicely, so you want to just make sure that that's something that happens with the card. And then we're going to put some adhesive here. Alright, I just realised I was mostly on camera for that. So, to stick down, you don't want too much glue to ooze out though. Make sure it's going the same way. The right way, and then we're just going to pop our piece on there, so you'll see that that opens up like that. Okay, so just make sure that that's adhered down. Now this piece here, I just have to remember how I did that. Okay, so we've got two pieces here which are 4 inches long and 1/2 inch wide. Alright, you're just going to fold them in half. And this part is purely optional. A lot of the other versions of this I didn't see, but it just stops the card, it just holds the card a bit more stable when, so like when you open it, this part here is attached, right? So it just stops it from being a bit floppy and holds it in place. So what we're going to do is, just looking at my card, I'm going to put these here. So we want, that is going to then go over there. So you can see it in my card here. Alright, so it attaches to the end bit with the fold piece, the folded piece here. Alright, so you're going to have it like that. So we're going to, now let's, I hope you're all crossing your fingers because I'm having a bit of a menopause moment and feel like I'm not really doing this correctly. So my brain's just gone blank. Mine are a little bit too long, so feel free. In fact, actually 3 3/4 probably is long enough rather than 4. So just snip it off. Like, it doesn't have to be super accurate as long as it sits within that fold. Alright, and then we're going to put one at the bottom here. And then that's how it went. Let's go. Yeah. So then we put a bit of adhesive here and a bit here, like that. Okay, so we've got it on the back of the last piece. I'm taking you with me. That sounds fun. I remember going through there not long ago. Okay, so on the piece that is closest to the opening, you're going to glue down on the back of that, and then you're going to close it so that it's concertina on each other. Your flaps are on the inside of the score line on the same side as your zigzag piece or your Z fold piece. Glue on the 2 tabs, and then you're just going to bring your top piece over and glue. Are you crossing your fingers? This is where I think I've messed up, but I don't. No, I haven't. Then you can open it and then just press that down so that it stays in place, and it will open and close nicely without it flapping about. Now, if you've used glue like I have, you need to just be a little bit patient and wait for it to get tacky and sit and stick there. So I'm just going to put a block on there. While that's happening, I'm going to glue this onto here. Like so. I'm going to do that, and now we're going to pop some dimensionals on the back here, but we'll just wait for, you're going to put them on. I'm using dimensionals. You can use glue, you can use tape, whatever your preferred adhesive is. Alright, well, you'll know that mine is glue because I like a little bit of wiggle room. So this is going to go in here, alright, and then so it will open. Get it open. When it opens, that will sit inside there like that. Okay. And then when it closes and fills the gap. So what we need to do is put some dimensionals in here. Now yes, that's right, Andrea, thank you very much. Nice to have you here. Have a great time in Wellington. Alright, so I'm just going to pop them like that. And there, not too close to the edge, we don't want it catching, but just to keep it nice, I want to put an extra one in the middle. It will depend on the, yes, it is next Wednesday. I don't know that, I'm not sure what's happening Sunday yet, so I'm going to say that I'm not doing Sunday just in case family is still here or something happens and we get busy or we're cleaning up still. Yeah. So, keeping our card closed, we're going to pop this in. Now, you want to make sure that it is, before you put it down, that it is in the right spot and it's inside there, so that when you open it, it's not quite, there we go. And when you open it, it fits. It's slightly crooked, but that's okay. So that is our card. So, 1, 2. Yeah, I have to move that. Thanks, Lisa. That's quite. That's. No, if I play with it, thank you, Lisa. If I play with it, I'm going to wreck it, so I'm going to leave it. But that is our card for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. I managed to get my phone to turn around with my phone that I'm using. I was using my old phone, and for some reason it doesn't want to go landscape, which is really annoying. But yeah, so hopefully the view was a little bit better today than it was the last couple of days. Alright, thank you very much for joining me. I hope that if you give this a go, please pop it on my page. I'll put a picture up in a minute so that you've got somewhere to post your card if you make one. And I will see you next Wednesday. I won't be doing one Sunday, so I will see you next Wednesday. Bye for now.